Good morning, students. Today we'll take up the new lesson, that is chapter 9, food crops. So in the previous class we had discussed with the two major type of crops grown in our country, that's a food crop and the cash crops. So food crops are those crops which are mostly meant for human consumption, and the cash crops are meant for earning profit. So today we shall discuss the three important food crops grown in our country: rice, wheat and pulses. So these three crops, okay, these are the cereal crops. Now what do you mean by cereal crop? Means these are the grass-like plant which have starchy edible seeds. And like these crops are rich in protein, or they have a high nutritive value, and they are easy to cultivate also. So therefore they are grown widely in our country. So first let's see rice. Okay, so rice, as you know, it is a staple diet of the people living in the tropical and the subtropical region. That's the first point. It is grown widely in tropical and subtropical region. It's an important diet of millions of people in our country. Second point, it is a kharif crop in the north. Now kharif means, as you know, it is grown in the summer season in North India. But in South India, it can be grown, or it's grown throughout the year, provided irrigation facility or there is irrigation facilities. Okay, so in North India, it is grown in the summer season, therefore we call it as a kharif crop. And in South India, it can be grown throughout the year, provided irrigation is available. Okay, and like it's grown from Kanyakumari in the south to Kashmir Valley in the north. Then the next point is your geographical conditions. So let's discuss about the geographical condition: temperature, rainfall and the soil. Okay, so temperature, the mean temperature is 24 degrees Celsius with a range between 22 degrees Celsius to 32 degree Celsius. So this is the ideal temperature for the growth of rice in India. Then rainfall between 150 to 300 centimeter, and where there is irrigation facility, it can be less than this amount also. Okay, then next important point is your soil. So it requires alluvial soil, friable loamy soil, okay, that's a combination of sand, silt and clay, with clay-like impervious subsoil. Now clay soil, as you know, it's a finest particle of the soil. It can retain moisture. So the subsoil should contain clay so that it can retain moisture. As you know, rice, it requires standing water during its growing period. So clay-like subsoil is best suited for the cultivation of rice. So these are the three important requirements of rice. Okay. So now the next is your methods of cultivation. So first let's see the sowing of seeds. Okay. So sowing of seed is done by different methods. Number one, broadcasting, deepling, drilling, transplantation. So first let's see broadcasting now. So broadcasting is simple. It's a simple in a sense that the seeds are scattered by hand over the field. Okay, it is labor saving. Then number two is your deepling method. Now in this method, the seeds are dropped at regular interval in the furrow made by the plow. So furrow means it's a hole, or it's a trench, okay, which is made in the ground with the help of the plow. So the seeds are dropped in this hole, okay, which is made by the plow. So this method is known as your deepling. Now the third method is your drilling, and this is the best method. So how is it carried out? The seeds are dropped in a straight line at a regular interval through a bamboo shaft attached to the plow, which makes the furrow. So you can see here in the picture, okay, there is a bamboo shaft which is attached to the plow, and the seeds are dropped through this bamboo shaft into the furrow which is made by the plow. Okay, and this is the best as it gives more yield as compared to broadcasting and the dibbling method. So now let us see the transplantation method. Okay, so in this method, the seeds, the number 1.1, the seeds are raised in the nursery beds. That's a well prepared seed bed. Then secondly, when the plant attain the height of 15 to 20 centimeters, they are uprooted in bunches and then they are taken to the flooded field. Okay, so and they are like left to grow till they mature. And when the grain starts ripening, okay, at that time the surplus water is drained from the field. So, and this particular method, okay, though it is laborious, okay, it takes a lot of time, energy, labor and all, but it gives us better yield. Now, similarly, we have the next method also, that Japanese method. So, Japanese method of rice cultivation is by far the best. It's considered as the best method because it gives us more yield. Okay, it yields 3 times the normal quantity. So therefore, it is considered as the best method of rice cultivating rice. Now let's see the features, okay, of Japanese method of rice cultivation. Number 1, it uses better quality seeds like HYV seeds are used. Then point number 2, the seeds are raised in the nursery beds. Third point, when they attain a certain height, they are replanted, that means transplantation will take place. Then fourth one, irrigation, regular irrigation to ensure the required supply of water during the growing period. And the fifth point is your heavy manuring, like it is done in the nursery as well as in the field. So these are the 5 the features of Japanese method of cultivating or rice cultivation. Okay, so now we'll see the processing. Okay, first one, harvesting. Now, so harvesting is usually done by hand using a sickle. Okay, then after harvesting, they leave the crop in the field for 3 to 4 days. So that's the first one, harvesting. Then after harvesting, after 3 to 4 days, there's another process known as a threshing. Now what is done in threshing means the seeds or the grains are removed from the stalk. So it's done in 2 ways. Number 1, it is trampled against under the bullock's feet, or the seeds are beaten against the wooden barn. So in that case, the grains will separate, or they get separated from the stalk. Then third one is a hand pounding. Now what is hand pounding means, like it is usually done to, like in this method, the nutritive value of the rice is preserved, okay, and it is done in a wooden mortar which is pounded by a long wooden vessel. Okay, then the last one is your polishing. So this is done in order to make rice more attractive, but during this process the nutritive value of the rice is lost, and it's done in the mills, okay, by passing through a sets of hurlers and the sets of rollers. So these are the steps, okay, the processing of rice. Now let us see the areas, the distribution, rice producing states. So the important states are, we have 2 important, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. So Tamil Nadu, it accounts for 15% of the total rice grown in India, and it's the largest producer of rice, followed by West Bengal, it ranks 2nd. Then you have other states like Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Punjab, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Karnataka, Assam, Maharashtra and Kerala. Now let's take wheat. So wheat is the second important food crop of our country. So it's an important diet for the people living in north and northwestern part of the country. So see at the feature, number 1, it is a temperate crop. So unlike your rice, it's a tropical and the tropical crop. So this is a temperate crop, that means it grows in a cool climate. Okay. Then point number 2, it's a rabi crop. That means this crop is grown in the winter season because it grows well in the cool climate. Sowing, it starts in the month of October and November and harvested in the month of March and April. Okay, so by this time the crop is harvested. Now let us see the geographical conditions. So under geographical condition, we have to know the temperature and rainfall, and we'll take soil also. Okay, so the temperature during the sowing period is 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, and during harvesting it is 20 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, then rainfall is moderate, that's 50 to 100 centimeter. And the third one is your soil. So soil must be clayey, okay, loamy or black soil. Clayey, loamy or black soil. So these soils are best suited for the cultivation of wheat. Then next is your method of cultivation. So under your method of cultivation, first let's see the sowing of the seeds. So seeds are sown by three methods. Okay, they are broadcasting, first one, second one is your drilling, and the third one is your deepling. So these are the three ways in which the seeds are sown. Okay, then the next one is your harvesting. So the wheat crop is harvested by cutting the plant with a sickle close to the ground. Okay, it is cut with a sickle very close to the ground. Then after harvesting, the next is your threshing now. So in threshing, as you know, the grains are removed, isn't it? So the next process is threshing, in which it involves the separation of the grain from the spike, and it's done under the feet of the bullocks or by the threshing machines. Even the machines are used to remove the grain. Then next is your winnowing. Now after thrashing, okay, the next process is a winnowing. So in Punjab, in Haryana and all, they use a combine. Okay, recently the combines are used for this purpose, for winnowing and also for sieving. So the combine reap, it will clean, okay, it will winnow and it will sieve the grain. And after that, the grains are stored in the store or in the barn house. And finally, they are taken to the mill. So the next process is milling. Now let us see the areas. So wheat producing states. So we have three important areas in North India. Okay, they are Punjab, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. They produce 70% of the total wheat. Okay, 70% of the total wheat is produced in northern India. That means produced by the three states, Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Now let's see pulses. So it's another important food crop grown in our country. So first point, it is grown as Kharif crop in North India, as a Rabi crop in South India. So in North India, it is grown in the summer season, and in South India, it is sown in the winter season. Point number two, it is a leguminous crop. That means it has a high nitrate. The nitrate content is more. Therefore, it helps in retaining the fertility of the soil. So therefore, it is used in the course of crop rotation. So now next point, what is a crop rotation? It is the planting different crops in sequence, okay, in the same plot of land, so as to retain the fertility of the soil, okay, to restore or to improve the soil health. Now see the geographical conditions. So first, temperature. So temperature is 20 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. Rainfall 50 to 75 centimeter, and the soil is dry, light soil. So these are the important, like temperature and rainfall, these are the two climatic condition, and your next is the soil, dry, that is dry, light soil. Now let us see the areas or the states, okay, producing pulses. So it is grown in Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Bihar, Jharkhand and Tamil Nadu. Okay, so the area under the pulses cultivation, under the pulse cultivation has increased now, like from 19.1% million hectares in 1950 to 23.8 million in 1989 to 1998 to 1999, because it's an important diet for the vegetarians, okay, because it's rich in protein. So therefore the growth or the production of pulses in our country is increasing.